By early 2023, the war in Ukraine had entered a new technological phase. While artillery and armored warfare remained central to the conflict, drones began to play an increasingly important role on both sides of the battlefield. Unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, were used for several purposes, including reconnaissance, targeting, surveillance, and direct attack missions. These systems allowed both Russian and Ukrainian forces to observe enemy positions in real time and adjust artillery fire with greater accuracy. Widely discussed drone systems used during the war was the Shahed-136, an Iranian-designed loitering munition used by Russian forces. These drones are relatively inexpensive compared to traditional missiles and are designed to fly long distances before striking targets such as infrastructure, energy facilities, or military positions. Russia launched waves of these drones during nighttime operations against Ukrainian infrastructure, particularly power stations and energy networks. The goal was to weaken Ukraine's electricity grid and disrupt logistics and communications during the winter months. Ukraine responded by strengthening its air defense systems. Western countries supplied additional air defense equipment, including systems designed to intercept drones and cruise missiles. Ukrainian air defenses gradually improved their ability to detect and shoot down incoming drones. At the same time, Ukraine also expanded its own drone capabilities. Ukrainian forces used reconnaissance drones to identify Russian troop movements, artillery positions, and supply routes along the front lines. Small commercial drones modified for military use became a common sight across the battlefield. These drones were used to drop small explosives or guide artillery fire with precision. Another major development was the use of naval drones in the Black Sea. Ukraine developed unmanned surface vessels capable of striking naval targets. Several attacks targeted Russian naval ships and facilities near Crimea. These operations demonstrated how relatively small unmanned systems could challenge much larger and more expensive military platforms. Meanwhile, both sides increasingly used drones for battlefield awareness. Commanders could monitor the front lines in real time, identify weaknesses in enemy defenses, and coordinate attacks more effectively. However, the growing use of drones also led to new countermeasures. Electronic warfare systems were deployed to jam drone signals, disrupt navigation systems, and prevent remote control of unmanned aircraft. As a result, the battlefield became a constant contest between drone operators and electronic warfare specialists. The rise of drone warfare also had a significant psychological impact. Soldiers on both sides reported that drones were often heard overhead day and night, creating constant pressure and uncertainty along the front lines. By mid-2023, drones had become one of the defining technologies of the conflict. They changed how reconnaissance was conducted, how artillery was directed, and how long-range strikes were carried out. Military analysts began referring to the war in Ukraine as one of the first large-scale conflicts where drones were used so extensively by both sides. Despite the technological advances, the fundamental challenges of the war remained. Both sides continued to face heavy losses, logistical difficulties, and the challenge of maintaining momentum across a long and heavily fortified front line. The expansion of drone warfare showed how modern conflicts are increasingly shaped by technology, innovation, and adaptation on the battlefield. By mid-2023, drones had become one of the defining technologies of the war in Ukraine. From reconnaissance to precision strikes, unmanned systems were reshaping how battles were fought across land and sea. Yet, despite these technological changes, the conflict remained costly and complex for both sides. As the war continued, a new phase was about to begin. In the next episode, Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to New Informative.